Hi, my name is Nancy Love. I'm the founder of a fledgling organization called the Planet Peace Project. I've been a writer for a number of years, and some of my writing has been very meaningful to people. I'd like to share some of that now. This is an essay I wrote about the inimitable Molly Ivins, a writer about Texas politics and culture. The world lost Molly Ivins in 2007 to cancer, and I was thinking of her today and how tough and wonderful she was. So I thought that I would share this memorial I wrote to her 11 years ago when she passed. I contributed it to a university archive that was collecting tributes to the esteemed Miss Ivins. Remembering Molly Ivins, California girl and Yellow Rose of Texas. I had the honor of meeting Molly Ivins years ago when I lived in Texas prior to making good my escape to California. She had an absolutely incredible intellect, as brilliant satirists often do. Her courage knew no boundaries, and she would happily bite the heels of the biggest dogs around and send them off whelping in pain. She had the courage to speak truth to power, and thereby holds a special place in liberal heaven. I know that her old buddies, former Texas Governor Ann Richards and infamous pacifist curmudgeon Maury Maverick, were there to welcome her home. I recall her description of voting in Texas, choosing between one hopeless dipstick and another. I remember gritting my teeth and voting for the Democrat in some elections in Texas, knowing him to be about 12 miles right of center, a Republican by another name. Then there was the time that as vice president of our local Sierra Club chapter, I, a Democrat since the age of 6, gritted my teeth again and invited a Republican congressional candidate to speak at the monthly Sierra Club meeting. He was an educated, cosmopolitan individual and a more dedicated environmentalist than the other hopeless dipstick. I asked him why the party affiliation. He hung his head in shame. I would be a Democrat if I hadn't been born into my particular family. If I switch parties now, they will never speak to me again, and I'll lose my inheritance. Oil and cattle and ranch land, oh my. Ah, to dream the impossible dream, as Molly Ivins did. Would that we could live in a world in which the term honest politician is no longer an oxymoron. But wait, I must not be too negative here, for they say that corruption of the best is the worst. I repeat, corruption of the best is the worst. If even the inveterate optimists, aka liberals, become truly cynical, then the whole world will surely go to hell. We must keep the faith, and as Maury Maverick's family would tell us all, fight the good fight. I don't have to grit my teeth at the polls anymore. Now I'm represented by such admirable individuals as Dianne Pelosi, Barbara Boxer, Henry Waxman, and Ted Lieu. Perhaps the term honest politician is not an oxymoron after all. It is now left to those of us with a conscience to carry Molly's torch. Let us prove her right when she recently, rather optimistically, proclaimed that we run this country, and that we decide how long the Iraqi war shall go on. If we really run this place, let's keep our kids safe from death on foreign soil, or from being shipped home with traumatic brain injuries, amputations, and other wounds that will affect them for the rest of their lives. This war, ill-advised and costly beyond measure, shall continue to inflame tensions in a part of the world that sorely needs negotiators and well-reasoned words, not more soldiers, tanks, and bombs. The appropriate role for the United States as world leader is to blaze the trail to peace, and that will take diplomatic skill, intelligence, and supreme restraint. Let us finally begin to lead by example, and to teach the planetary citizens of this fragile blue pearl called Earth to lay down their arms and find the common goals that ultimately should unite us all. Our global economy needs to be structured around ideals far more noble than perpetual acquisitive greed, and our political systems need to answer the real needs of the people whose lives they presume to govern. It was to serve these ends that Molly Ivins fought the good fight. And she did it with wit and style and stealth logic. She tried to remind Americans what being American is supposed to mean. And for that, she has endeared herself to true patriots of freedom everywhere. Molly Ivins, a California girl by birth, became a tremendously beautiful Yellow Rose of Texas. We loved her very dearly, and shall honor her life by picking up her torch and carrying it with great pride. Till you and Anne and Maury come to welcome me into liberal heaven, Molly, I will remember you. Nancy Love, Santa Monica, California, 2007. Thanks for your attention.